And we are live. Welcome, everybody. IdeaWars podcast number 28 with Rican and Socrates back in the hizzy.
What's good?
Ready to talk about some dumb ideas and maybe talk about some good ideas.
Whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
Truth. And just so you know, we'll talk about anything, man. And that's what we love to do. So, anyone have any suggestions for topics you want to see what we know about it? Anyone want advice on any different thing? You want to hear what we have to say about it? Let us know. We're more than willing. Relationships, business, whatever the fuck. We love to talk about ideas.
You want to talk shit about shitty sushi? Talk about shitty sushi. Talk about my butt whistles when I fart. Talk about anything.
You want to talk about some butt whistling? We're down.
Talk about some butt whistling. Talk about any fucking thing.
At the end of podcast number 27, we didn't quite get to it, but I had said I had some gun stuff to show what not to do, and hopefully have a few things to show what to do. Like I mentioned before, my dad was a police officer and fire instructor for about 25, 30 years.
Right.
He always taught me, how to be safe with firearms and safe practices and what the laws are and all this and that, be a responsible gun owner. And of both responsible and irresponsible. And I think some of them are pretty humorous and some of them are pretty informative. And
What type of weapons are we going to be looking at? Like sidearms or like shotguns?
all sorts.
Shotgun right here. Like, are you just talking about all ranges of weapons?
Well, yeah, just all sorts of, everything from people who are letting other people shoot their guns to people's own guns.
All right.
Just all the way around. There's some pretty funny, but yet pretty insane things. Without further ado, you want me to start it up?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Cool. First of all, wear your pants, your belt nice and tight. Look how this chick is holding her arms. Somebody's teaching her the weaver stance. That's called the weaver stance, where you have like one arm bent, one arm straight, and you do a push pull. I used to think that was the proper way to do it too, but now I no longer think that that's the best method. But yeah, like you need to hold your arms, relaxed, but stiff enough to where you don't recoil it into your face or anything,
Right. Whoa, what the fuck?
You see how she's leaning backwards?
Yeah, she like breaking her hips, bro.
Yeah.
The way she's leaning back like that. Damn.
That's a Sega shotgun. It's either a 410 or 12 gauge, I think. Those kick like a mule.
I can tell.
And the last girl too, in my opinion, it's the person who's letting them fire the gun needs to teach them what to do. Teach them how to hold it, how to brace yourself for the impact, how to lean in. Like when I see, you can tell it's not their gun so much of the time. You know what I mean? Right. And they think it's funny when the person has like a little bit of fail moment, but I think that's irresponsible of the gun owner, because it's like, why are you giving this person a gun without giving an example of how to shoot? Show you how to deal with it when you're doing it, right? Like,
shit could get serious.
Yeah, you set them up for failure. Meanwhile, they have a deadly weapon, man. And gun owners get shit on for every mistake that any other person in the world makes with a gun. And it's shit like this, but they'll sit back there and laugh. Listen to the reaction of the people filming, because it's a lot of times their guns and shit. You can tell. And, the nerve to set these people up for failure. Meanwhile, they're the ones not practicing safe gun etiquette, right?
True. I guess that's a good way of thinking it. Because I even remember the first time I shot your shotgun. I mean, my shoulder was. I mean, I only shot it twice, and my shoulder was like I did like 100 push-ups
Yeah,
nonstop. And that was the
yeah. If
whole
you don't,
night also.
yeah, man, you got to hold that shit nice and tight, lean into it. Uh, I still have my like first shotgun I ever got when I was like 12 years old from my dad, and it's like a single shot 12 gauge break barrel, and I had to go through a 100 safety course with that bitch. And I tell you what, after even just a few shots, I was terrified of shooting that motherfucker. You know what I mean? And it actually scared me away of guns for the next like 10, 15 years. You know, my dad never prepared me. He's a firearm instructor and everything, but meanwhile, he gave me 3-inch Magnum slugs to shoot at a 100 safety course at like 12 years old. And I'd never really shot any other guns before that too much. So, you know, it was like a little bit overwhelming. And I feel a little bit like if he would have, you know, talked to me a little bit, maybe fired a couple rounds with me somewhere else, it would have prepared me for all that. And then it wouldn't have been a big deal. But, you know, without any sort of guidance whatsoever, it just sort of felt like, but I don't think at that time he was a police officer or firearms instructor. You know, that was way before. So, but he was still a gun enthusiast, you know, but he probably didn't know any better himself at the time.
Right.
Years later, when I talked to him about it, I was like, hey, man, you know, like, I told him, like, yeah, you gave me like 3-inch Magnum shells. And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah, man. And I was like wondering about that. Like years later, when I did find out that he could have gave me, you know, like some buckshot 2 3/4-inch shells that would have had way less kick, and that they actually measure out the gunpowder in each of them, and you can actually tell, you know, usually it's advertised right on the box exactly how much powder is used in there.
Right.
You know, and that'll give you some indicator of how it'll kick and whatnot, you know.
A lot easier than what you've done.
Truth.
Yep. Man.
No, he's telling her to straighten her arms out, but it's not telling her to lean in, and she's leaning back. Not telling her to hold her wrist straight, lock them out, you know. She's all limp-wristed. Every one of these girls leaning back like a motherfucker. Bitches just lay there too. When shit like that happens, they just fucking lay there. Like, really, we gotta and act like we don't know if you're dead or not. Talk about crying wolf, right? Like, like anyone else would get knocked down and you roll over if they're fine. You know, bitches will fucking lay there until you're like, are you okay? Are you dead?
Not a
you know
word.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ever notice that? I mean, and it's not just
when she fell down, she acted like she was unconscious, like no movement at all.
But that's how bitches do, you know. And it's like, really, are you being like histrionic? Are you going for attention here, or are you, you know, it puts dudes in a weird situation. Right. Look, this one, she's bump firing from the hip, which is an easy way to do it if you don't want a bunch of recoil and shit. I don't know what happened to her pants, but
okay.
Yikes!
Oh shit!
Tell me your heart didn't just drop when that barrel swings towards the camera.
Oh my god! I would have fell.
I know, it's like, bitch, just point it at the ground when you're done firing, if anything, you know what I mean? But don't turn towards us with the goddamn barrel. Jesus. But you could tell he flipped out too, you know? So I've seen more of that video. She was like, what? I don't know. And he's like, yeah, point the barrel down range, you know? It's like, bitch, you still have your finger on the trigger, for God's sakes.
God damn, that's a scary sight, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's usually with a reflex, just bam.
Gets me every time.
The little gun safeties, those little ass things that could kill somebody.
Exactly. And that's why I think it's important for people to see both how to do it and how not to do it. Like, look at this motherfucker. Got his finger on the trigger. Meanwhile, he's just racking a shot indoors. He's just like, you can see the bullet in there. See it? It's yellow.
Yeah, I seen him put it in.
Yeah. So let's watch this retard. Had his finger on the trigger. What'd you think was going to happen when you racked that shit? Dog. Look how she's holding her arms. Not locked out in the slightest. And I don't know, but that gun looks like it has a pretty decent recoil just by the size of it. Unless it's one of those Ruger 1022 pistol things, which it doesn't look like it is. A significant recoil. And they aren't telling her to lock her arms out. Nothing. You know? And if that shit hit me in my motherfucking face, I'd be pissed. Nobody told me.
Damn. Damn. You think she broke her nose, bro?
I don't know, man. I've seen plenty where they definitely did break their nose, or when they peeled their wig back a little bit and are fucking bleeding and probably got to go get stitches and shit, you know? That's metal on bone a lot of times, dog.
Bro.
Yeah, that shit was
metal.
I would be upset. I would be upset if somebody did that to me, man.
Hell yeah, that's true.
Let's watch it again.
Crack.
Oh, god damn, she got hit hard as fuck in the face.
Dog, and that movement is so fucking quick. I knew it had to hurt, man.
Damn, I never noticed it that much. She got hit hard as fuck.
What the fuck? What happened there?
Idiot. Look at this. That last chick got a hot shell down her shirt, I think.
Oh.
But look at this retard, dog. Look at this.
What the
You
fuck?
don't know that you're supposed to put
What
the butt
the fuck is he doing?
shoulder? Like, are you for real right now, dog?
Is that a rifle? That's a rifle, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to get it a better. Look, that's a rifle in the butt of the stock he's holding out at arm's length. Are you for real right now, dog?
He's instructing diving lessons with guns.
It does look like he bought 5 officers. Take the gun away. He's just getting his form right. What the fuck, man?
He's dumbass, though.
Dumbass, man. And I don't know, like, he obviously, I don't know if he has experience, but he thought this was the right way to do it. Nobody corrected him. I don't know, man, but yikes. It looked like he got hit in his shit hard as fuck, don't it?
Hell yeah, bro, because he came down quick as fuck, just hanging there from his legs. Acting like his shoulders all out.
And it's just one after another. That was a Desert Eagle 50 cal handgun.
That's a big fucking. Oh, that had to hurt, bro. Right in her eye. The scope.
Eyeball.
Oh fuck.
And if you look how she was holding it, she wasn't like squared up with it, or her shoulder didn't have a grip on that fucking stock, and that's what happened.
I mean, my stepmom got hit with an eye in the eye with a Nerf gun, and that messed her up. I can't imagine what that did.
Like, look at it. Like, the butt of that gun is not in her shoulder where it's supposed to be.
Damn.
Just the bottom tip of it is like even anywhere near her fucking shoulder.
At this moment, you realize you fucked up.
Yep. What the hell?
God damn. I feel bad for her.
And it's like she was looking through the other eye.
Yeah, I do see that. Now that you say something, I do see that. Like, she's not even using her actual right eye.
Yeah, or her left eye. Like, she should have been using her right eye, but it looked like she was using her left eye.
Right.
Yeah. And
right, she's holding her other eye.
Right. She went for her left eye.
Dumb bitch.
I know. But also, I've never seen shooting from a position. That's not very common.
Wait, what?
The last couple of these clips where they were shooting from a kneeled position. See this here?
Uh-huh.
And it's like, who told them, and this chick too, who told them that that was a good position for a first-time shooter?
Yeah, now that you say that, yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck is telling them that? That way now your body can't absorb the recoil. Like before, you had your legs are going to absorb most of the recoil, but you take those out of the picture, now just your upper torso. But that,
True.
You didn't have a good grip on it. Her
You're
face
right.
took the fucking recoil.
Dumb bitch. You're right.
Yeah.
Man.
But it's really the person showing her. You know what I mean? Like, why are they telling her this terrible advice? They got her hurt. Yeah, she's dumb for letting some retard tell her, you know, what to do. She still had a
fault, but it's the trainer. But damn.
Yeah, I'd be pissed if I got stitches and shit because somebody didn't tell me how to do something right.
Right.
Let me stay. Fuck. Like, would you put a baby in the water and be like, let's see if he can swim, and then walk away?
Hell no.
You know, I mean, that's fucking stupid.
Right.
Somebody doesn't have experience in something. Goddamn.
True.
Oh crap. Leaking.
What the fuck? Damn. What was that?
Big ass gun.
What is that? Now I don't see what they're doing wrong.
They're leaning back.
Oh, okay.
Now at least that one he braced her and everything. But she's still, and look at this. If you're drunk and shit, you shouldn't be anywhere near guns.
This dude shouldn't be anywhere near that. What the fuck?
That almost hit me with a real.
Oh shit.
Oh my.
Bro, I would hate to have one of these moments.
Yeah, man.
Or be around it.
There's a famous video where this little 10-year-old girl, I'll find it after this. There's an instructor, and he lets her fire off like one round on like a fully automatic, like Uzi or something, and then he immediately puts it on full auto, and it recoils so bad, the little girl kills the instructor.
What? I think you told me about this. It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I've never seen the video though. Man, so glad I'm out. I hope I never get to these situations.
Yeah, man. Holy shit.
How did that happen? You put it down.
Well, it was a different gun, it looked like.
Oh.
Wow. Look at that. That's like right out of like cartoons. Like and shit.
Have you ever seen any stuff like this? Like people actually failing with a gun?
Yeah, I've actually had a fail, man.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Talk about that?
Yeah, man. It was like one of the first times that I ever shot a handgun, and my brother, I think it was like a 44 Magnum or something. Big ass revolver, and he's like, "Here, man, take it off." Over there, we had a target set up, and he's like, go ahead and bust out all the rounds. Empty all 6 chamber. I don't remember if there was 5 or 6, but that's the thing is that I didn't know that all revolvers had different amount of ammo they hold. Some of them hold 5, some of them hold 6, some of them hold 9, 11, 15, 21. There's an old ass Western one that held like 100 almost.
Damn.
So, but anyway, I'm like firing down range at the target, and I thought I had fired all the rounds, and my dumbass, nobody told me at the time. I still had my finger on the trigger, and I'm like turning back to talk to my brother, but then I had the gun down at the ground. I just pulled the trigger once more, which is also stupid, and it fucking shot into the ground.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You probably jumped.
Yes, that was, I was like, fuck, man, jeez. Yeah, it was pretty scary, but thankfully,
you shot your foot off.
It was pointed directly. Yeah, thankfully it was pointed directly at the ground. That's a good thing, and that that could have turned out really bad. There's all sorts of cases in history of shit like that going wrong.
Damn, good thing that didn't. Have I ever told you about the story of a mother killing her son in in a gun range on purpose, bro. Did I ever tell you that?
Wait, a mother killed her children at a.
Yeah. She they was shooting a revolver and shit. Here, let me try to find that. You play this video and I'll try to find the other video and put it in there.
Young and crazy. 9-year-old girl, gun instructor, who's a 39-year-old shooting instructor from Nevada, has died after a 9-year-old accidentally shot him in the head. He taught her how to fire. The accident, 10 a.m. to a shooting range, bullets and burgers. As the 9-year-old girl received instructions on how to fire. The instructor was taking the girl while showing her other use. After helping the girl into the proper shooting, the girl fired off a single.
Hey, Junior.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we're getting a real big echo from your side. I think you might. Can you turn down your volume a little bit?
Yeah, it's probably the wind outside, man. There's a big, huge windstorm.
No, I mean it's an echo of the playing.
Oh, okay.
And even everything I hear it twice.
It's probably coming from my TV. There. Should be good now.
All right.
Shot. That's when the instructor.
Yeah, that fixed it.
Into full automatic.
We'll have to remember that in the future.
The girl pulled the trigger,
What the?
accidentally shooting the instructor in the head. They're lifted to the hospital. We later were passing through on vacation.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello, can you hear me?
Yep. So there you have it. Like he showed her how to shoot like one.
Damn.
And then he immediately switched it to full auto. When she pulled the trigger, it recoiled right up to his head, man.
That's dumb. I don't even know why you would even want to change it to full auto for someone like a little girl like that. That's so dumb.
She better have lots of fire experience even with that gun. I mean, look, even a full-grown woman, look how hard it is for them to control that recoil. And now you're talking about a 9-year-old girl or whatever. Are you serious right now, dog? Like, man, you don't understand that's not a good idea?
Right. I feel you. That's dumb. Just fucking dumb. I wonder how she feels, dog.
Oh, I'm sure awful.
She's probably all fucked up.
You know, and it sucks because when you want to get somebody into being a shooting sport, or if they're interested or whatever, the last thing you want to do is scare them, or because I know that happened to me. You know, I'm a big ass dude, and for 15, 20 years, I didn't mess with guns. I was actually real intimidated by them. But that's because when I was 12 years oldish, you know, I'm shooting a gun that is punching way above my weight, basically, I feel like, you know, and my dad should have started me out with some 22s and showed me how fun they can be and not to fear them, and then how to respect them and how to control them and how to use them and have them do only what you want them to do, right? Never misfire, never. And it takes time to learn and stuff. And unfortunately with guns, the same goes with cars. You know, I mean, it's the perfect analogy, because with cars, if they don't get it right, you could pay with your life, or you could make somebody else lose their life, you know? I mean, fuck.
Right.
I mean, that's what happened to me. Some dumbass fucking hits me and destroys my fucking spine. You know, it didn't matter that I lifted weights and did martial arts for like 20-something years. It ain't always about what you do. Some idiot can come along and fuck your shit up, and you couldn't.
Just be over like that.
Yeah. You know, you could do everything perfect in your life, but if there's some idiot out there who's doing a whole bunch of dumb shit, he'll get you fucked up too. So you got to be careful on how you pick and choose the people that you're going to trust in this fucking world.
That's true.
Wanted to show you this.
Wait, man, go see my video.
Okay, all right. Which one?
Refresh it. Splowy, right there. That mom, man, something's wrong with her. She said She did it so she could go to hell and he could go to heaven.
Yeah, I've heard that before. There's been a lot of well, when you think about it, if you follow the Bible objectively, it would make sense to kill your children. Many people have said this because you know, there's in the religious Christianity belief, you have this age of enlightenment or whatever. I forget what it's called. Age of accountability, I think is what it's called, where children are accountable after a certain age for their own actions and their sins. But before that age, because the Bible says all, you know, babies go to heaven, basically, right? And so, you know, it actually does follow logically, and so this is a common thing. People who are really hardcore
or believers, whatever.
Yeah, and it's not just Christianity, you know. I mean, isn't Islam with their honor killing this sort of same line of thinking, you know? I mean, like they kill them, and then that, because it says they can only gain forgiveness by the death penalty, right?
Right.
And so in a way they've gained forgiveness through being stoned to death. It's like, it's a sick way to think, but you know, it does follow logically, and that's the upsetting part. All right, so you want to give an intro or anything else to say before we
No, that was it.
Cool.
That's all I know.
Family members, they say, had a history of mental illness, shot and killed her son at a gun range, then turned the rented weapon on herself. The horrifying incident was caught on tape. The shootings happened at the Shoot Straight gun range near Orlando. Security camera video shows Marie Moore walk up behind her son, who was taking target practice, and a revolver at the back of his head, fired a single shot.
Oh my God.
I can't imagine what he's thinking, man. Like, just before that, just to go shooting and then bam, just lights out.
The son died at the scene. The mother died later at a hospital. According to local media outlets, the 44-year-old woman left behind notes that said she had to send her son to heaven and herself to hell. Ross Simpson, the associate.
That is awful.
For real. Crazy.
How could you kill your own son like that? And he is way old enough to be past the age of accountability. So, you know, usually it's like they have small children. A lot of times they drown them in the bathtub or smother them with pillows.
Right.
He's way past the age of accountability. So, I mean, there's no guarantee that he went to heaven anyway.
That's crazy, bro. That bitch is crazy.
Yeah, that's just crazy. You get a lot of that, you know, they say there's in the feminist ideology, they say toxic masculinity, but yet it isn't men who have dumpster babies. It isn't men who drown their children in the bathtub or smother them with pillows or poison their families.
Right.
Like, this narrative and idea of toxic masculinity is ridiculous. What it really is people have the capability to self-justify and do awful things to one another. I mean, this is the shit we talk about all the time, Islam, and like, you know, I think it was one of the last podcasts we talked about how they passed that law in New York City now, and if you don't use somebody's gender pronouns, they can charge you $250,000.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, man. Isn't that some shit? I think it was last Tuesday's podcast, 26. But we covered that. Yeah, so it's like, it's not just that these people are awful, but they're making laws and shit, you know? And that's where it crosses the line in my book. It's like, if you don't want to do something, that's fine. You know, you want to wear a black cloth bag for a living, you know, like women do in Islam, that's fine. But don't tell everyone else they have to do that. If you don't want to listen to a certain type of music, that's fine. But don't tell everyone else. You don't want to watch something. You don't want to hear something. Switch the fucking channel. Quit being a fucking bitch. Switch the channel. Don't tell everyone else what they can fucking hear. That's why I'm against.
Yeah, change that fucking channel.
Yeah, right. I mean, fuck, just change the goddamn channel then. You know, that's why I'm against this. I think they're called the FCC, and they determine what can be seen and heard on radio and television. And like, I don't know how in the fuck they got power and how that is enforced. But that's why I love something like YouTube, because you can show just about everything, but extreme violence and nudity, but you can talk however you want. You can have whatever opinion, and for that, I am extremely grateful.
I'm surprised nudity matters still.
I know it's like it's no big deal. I really don't understand.
Yeah, for real. We're just like in a nation we're so shy of that. I feel like it's just taboo to talk about it or something.
There's a famous quote, and this is what it reminds me of. It says something to the effect of, "People scoff in public and pretend to be insulted or whatever. Meanwhile, at home, they see far worse." I can't remember the exact words, but that's the gist of it. And that's the way I feel. Like, like you get a bunch of like extreme religious people, and he's like, "Oh, we can't stand nudity, and that's so awful." Meanwhile, if you look at the demographics, religious people are the #1 most addicted to porn and shit like that. They're seeing nudity the most.
Right.
Feign to be, really, they're not. What they're doing is projecting what they know is inside of them onto everyone else. But when they start to make laws and shit, and tell everyone else what to do about it, that's where I take issue.
Right. Don't involve us, motherfucker.
You don't want to look at some vaginas and assholes online, that's fine. But if I want to look at vaginas and assholes online, I don't want them stopping me. So,
if you want to see how a butthole whistles, then you should be able to.
There's actually a YouTube channel with this dude. What's his name? It's something like Extreme Ass Buster or something like that. And this dude, he don't do nothing but make videos of him like farting up a fucking storm. There's another podcast that covers him, Your Mom's House podcast.
Talking about farts. that video. Yeah, those are people that look like they smell farts or something. Sorry.
What do you mean? They look like they smell farts.
If you watch the video, you understand.
This Bradley, this second video here?
Yeah, they some weird people, man. I got a little laugh out of this motherfucker.
Thank you. What's your name? Ottavio Columbro. My name's Ottavio. I'm 24. I'm from Southampton. I'm a fashion PR student. I was going to say, I love your outfit. Thank you. Are you 12? Think of it like this. You've got Cher. You've got friends. Ottavio. I've got something in the cake. I'm done with the cake.
I never thought this was real.
Yeah, right. This dude's pretty out there. Give me 1 second, man. You are super loud. So I'm going to turn you down a bit.
Damn, I don't know how I put my headset on.
All right. Well, they ever fallen over?
Huh?
What he said, I had a massive fallout with my friend, and he said, "What for?" And he said something peñas or something like that.
Oh, I don't think he says it yet. He says it when he goes in there. It's funny what they're mad at each other for too. I think this is a joke, man. This is so funny.
You think they're trolling, is what you're saying?
No, they're being serious, but it's so crazy that I kind of wish they're trolling because I never thought this was real. Like the way they act with each other is a joke. I don't understand it. And then they got it on live TV, and you can tell like they don't want to deal with this, but like it's gonna get views, so they had to deal with it. The judges did.
That's funny.
It's funny to see that. Just watch.
Well, yeah, they're like screaming, "Look at me!" Right?
Right.
So you knew it was coming. I want to say one thing before we move on. Like, this dude's like pretty out there and everything. But I'm all for people doing whatever the fuck they want to in this world, and they shouldn't give a fuck what anyone else thinks, you know.
Right,
So
no doubt. But
I'm actually all for this dude doing his thing, man. You know, I think it's good that he's brave enough, but I think that if you're going to do that, you got to be tough enough to where you can withstand a few harsh looks and criticisms, because it's going to happen.
That's not normal.
So I'm all for the freedom of the speech. Just toughen up and take it. And I'm all for people being whoever the fuck they are. So good on him for that. Seems to be able to do both those things.
Carnival entertainment, but above all, an identity. I've just got to show the world who Otavia really is. You look amazing.
So do you.
I've got to say, you like the royal family of X Factor. You've got the king, the queen, the princess, and the jester.
Oh, that's not good to rip on somebody that you needs approval right before you do your thing.
You just gorgeous.
Fine. He has the perfect look.
Yeah, he looks like a pop star.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, who are you?
My name's Otavio.
And Octavio, how old are you?
24.
Tell me about the outfit.
So I get my inspiration from toys. I love like Kinder Egg, you know, the little toys in the Kinder Egg.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Octavio, good luck.
Thank you. Hope you like it.
You can tell me you think he's good too.
We come too far to give up who we are. So let's raise a bar. Can we come to the start?
This is slow.
Okay, what about that?
That was a bit slow, if I'm being honest with
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
you. It was a bit boring.
Wait, look, you can sing, but you are very theatrical.
Okay.
I think you can do an awful lot better in a group. It'd be fantastic.
But do you know I chose that because basically I auditioned with my friend Bradley. Over chicken.
Sweet.
Who is Bradley?
Is that you?
Yeah.
You said it was about chicken.
He cooked me some chicken,
Yeah.
and when he gave it to me, he saw pink.
Oh no, you would get very sick.
Yeah, and I don't want salmonella.
No. And you didn't say thanks about it.
Let me get this right.
Why would you say thank you?
Yeah.
Now you're here on your own.
I really miss him.
Wait, he's here?
Look at the music in the background. This is ridiculous.
How does the dude not know how to at least cook a fucking chicken? Like, have you never eaten before? You never made anything for yourself?
Trying to low-key kill that motherfucker.
Check your mascara.
They're like, oh my
Or
God.
hit Veronica.
And this dude got fucking stickers on his head.
I know.
Gold fucking stickers. The fucking Dollar Tree stickers on his fucking head. Those are supposed to be for like the beginning of the school year and shit. And he wants to wear them on his head like he did a great job today. What the fuck?
This other dude has like, okay, we can't play much more of this, yo. We gotta. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, we gotta stop sharing this clip right here, yo. What the hell? This is copyrighted. It says it's gonna shut down our Hangout if we play a bunch more of it.
Oh,
Yeah, we can't play a big ass whole clip like this, you know.
right, true. But yeah, anyways, we'll watch the rest of it like later or something, you know. But it's funny as fuck, man. I mean, I just sat there. My girl put it on, and she was like, "Look at this weird stuff," and I played it, and I was just like, "What the fuck?" I had to actually sit down and think. Like, I did not know there's people out there like that. Some goddamn.
What, that extreme, like how
Yeah, that extreme like drama and like, oh, I can't believe it. And like, they was all crying and shit about fucking chicken. And, like, what the fuck? Like,
but like,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's like they ain't reasonable. Like the dude that cooked it should know, like, that somebody's not going to say thank you if you could have just fucking poisoned them right there. And he also should have known how to make some chicken, or else why'd he even bother? You know,
They're dressing up like they're going to first grade.
like say you wanted to deliver somebody flowers, and you went to deliver them by hand, and there was a little card pinned to the flowers, right? And they were roses. And when you go to hand them to her, you trip and you stick her with the pin and you thorn the fuck out of her. Is she supposed to say thank you?
Hell no.
Yeah, like we can have whatever good intentions we want, but right, then we can't expect that the other person is going to be all thankful about it, because you actually made their shit worse, right? You didn't meal for this dude. If your intention was to provide him a nice meal, he didn't do that. You nearly poisoned him. If your intention was to give them flowers and have a great day, well, you didn't have a good fucking start to that by sticking them with the fucking needle and thorns, right? So,
right.
You know, this idea that people should be thankful for whatever effort, even if the effort doesn't go to fruition, I'm not so sure. Because you know, the other person, how can they be thankful if, in fact, you made their shit worse? That's not a situation in which most people are thankful for. And I don't think that the other guy presented with that same situation would appreciate that either.
Right. I know I wouldn't. Shit.
Yeah, fuck that.
Chicken, what the fuck did I do to you?
Yeah. The whole copyright thing is dumb. We're supposed to be allowed to watch and present whatever as long as we have a commentary. Like, we obviously can't play it front to back, but still, you know, they have some kind of algorithm or some shit that can detect whether you're playing it or not. But, you know, they should know that we're also sitting here talking the whole fucking time. You know what I mean?
Right. At least listen in, bitch.
Right. But whatever. So, but you basically summed it up. We showed what. Is there anything else you have to add to that?
No, but it looked like they was going to first grade or something. Motherfucker had stickers, good job stickers, and the other one had trapezoids of the shapes and fucking things that they needed in first grade. So I don't understand what the fuck was going on with them, but hey, to each his own. That's all I gotta say.
To each his own. I'm all for people doing whatever the fuck they want in this world, as long as they're not hurting anyone else.
Right.
I wanted to show you this. I don't know if it's a rifle or a shotgun, but it's supposed to be one of the biggest rifle or shotgun rounds that there are. And this motherfucker, it looks like a goddamn grenade. I mean, look at that. Big as
dog. That shit looks like
bigger
a
than
little torpedo.
Yeah, and the recoil is so bad on these things. I've seen some people say you have to hold it from the top instead of your support hand, the one that's not pulling the trigger, being out in front, holding that thing underneath. I've heard of some people say you have to actually hold your hand on top, or else it'll bounce up and hit you in your face.
Damn.
Yeah. Want to check it out here?
Yep.
Live.
That's a little torpedo.
That is enormous. Holy shit. It's called a 4-bore. Yikes.
That must be an old ass gun because the way he's holding it.
I don't know. See, but he's got a good stance though, doesn't he? Leans in, tucked tight into his shoulders.
Still pushing back too.
Yeah, and he seems to be a reasonably large-sized man, and it still knocked him up off that front foot, it looked like. Let's see that again. Yeah, it took him up off that front foot. So, wow. To be perfectly honest, I wouldn't even want to shoot that gun. If somebody was like, "Hey, do you want to shoot this?" I'd be like, "No," especially not now, with my fucked up shit. But I'd be like, no, man, I'm good with that. The dude got some pretty big guns too, don't he?
Oh yeah.
So he looked
he looked proper, and that still pushed him back. Look, he's so surprised that this shit just hit him. He's like, oh
yeah.
shit. He wants to take that shit to the apocalypse or something.
Yeah.
Oh, bougie ass.
Yeah, and these girls earlier couldn't handle like a 12 gauge or even sometimes like just a handgun. Imagine what this would do to one of them.
Man, I wonder what the range is on that thing.
I don't know.
I would not want to be.
I wonder what the kinetic energy is. Kinetic energy is a big part of what makes
the bullet.
Something have its bullet have power when it hits the target. The kinetic energy expends in different ways depending on what type of round and rifle and all that's used. I always hear shit like, well, I've looked into this quite a bit. I could look it up real quick, but I think it's called ballistics or whatever. Here, I'll try to find something real quick on it. But different rifles have different ballistics.
It's crazy when you start getting into that, like actual the statistics and stuff with bullets and the amount of firearms and what type of, like how far it shoots and all that stuff. When you go into detail like that, man, you can get your head just go on for days.
Yeah. So, if I remember correctly, like an AK would have somewhere around like 3,000 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. Okay, it looks like here's a. Yeah, it looks like I found one here. Give me 1 second. Share it with y'all.
Welcome to Shitty Sushi. How may I help you? Man, can't wait to play some Overwatch tonight, man. You better get on.
Cool. So here's the kinetic energies. Like a 308 has like 3,217. What's that? Joules of energy. And a 357 Magnum has, you see how like when you jump up to a rifle round, how the kinetic energy like almost immediately triples. A 22 has 168 joules of energy. But this is in joules. Like I've seen it before where it was in foot-pounds, and that one was a little bit easier for us as Americans using a dumbass system.
I don't even get none of that, man.
But it's basically like foot. You can think about it like if it's in foot-pounds or whatever. It's like and if I remember right, an AK has right around like 3,000 foot-pounds of energy. So it's like getting 3,000 pound weight on the end of a needle hitting you or some shit like that.
Damn.
Out of like a 1 square inch, so you put like 3,000 pounds on like a bullet. Yeah, and that's what it does. And then, so that's why it's so devastating when you get hit. Look, right here's the 9 milli. It's got about 500. And then as soon as you jump up to 7.62 by 3.9, which is the AK, that's at 2,000 joules, So it's a tremendous, that's 4 times the amount of energy that goes into your body when you get hit by that.
Damn, bro.
Not to mention the velocity here. This looks like it's meters per second. This is all metrics. That's a little bit like a 9 milli is like 900 feet per second. That's how we do it in feet. And then like an AK for us is somewhere like I thought like 2,700 feet per second or something. Way faster. So just an interesting thing. So I don't know where that 4-bore is. Here, let me look it up real quick.
Damn, that's crazy.
See, I don't know if anyone's ever done that on a 4-bore or not.
Man, just think about it. I want to be invincible. That's what all bullets.
Yeah, that'd be lovely. But that'd be about impossible.
We're gonna put it on making armor. We're gonna make an armor channel.
that's my dream, is to one day make an armor that can withstand our modern ballistics, and then we'd have a new arms race between arms and armor. Which for the last 600 years ish, we've, gunpowder just won hands down,
Right.
And I mean, there was some medieval armor that could actually stop modern bullets too, but not like our rifle rounds and shit, just our handguns.
They can't go any higher than handguns.
Yeah, but well, now for the first time this last year, a team at, I forget which college, I think it was MIT or something like that, they figured out how to make light into a solid. And so that's like the first step into like energy shields and light constructs and all that sort of thing. I imagine the ramifications of that, but maybe that's the beginning of it has straight up have some energy shields and shit. And that'd be better than any type of armor because it wouldn't even weigh anything. Light doesn't weigh anything. Not to us, at least. Nothing that we would notice.
That's some features.
That'd be perfect because, yeah, if you get like a class 3 armor, it weighs like, I think it's over 100. I think it's like 120 pounds. And that'll stop like rifle rounds, AK and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's super expensive. It's like 10, 15 G's to get it all, even the faceplate. And it'll, and if it gets hit by anything, it basically destroys the armor. And that's the other bad side, is that even if you have like a bulletproof vest and shit, once you get hit with it, it destroys the vest. It's not like you can just continue to use that.
Oh, that sucks.
And a lot of people don't realize that bulletproof armor, like Kevlar bulletproof vests and shit, the ones that we've seen commonly for the last 20, 30 years, that shit has a shelf life as well. The fabric itself can loosen up over time, and then bullets can pass through. So if you look at any of that body armor, yeah, there's an actual expiration date on body armor, that kind, the kind that is woven out of Kevlar and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yes, they don't last forever. But if we found some kind of new like hard body style, like carbon fiber or something like that, now that, unless it was visibly cracked or anything, we would know that it was good. But the other one, yeah. So like there's plates that they wear in those vests, and those will stay good, but the vest itself does go bad.
So how good of a vest do we have? Like, just to protect bullets also, or can we protect other stuff? Like, say officers, the type of vest do they have, or does it allow them to take like maybe a shotgun hit? You know what I'm saying? Or what's the justifications with that?
Rocket shotgun rounds, like grenades.
What?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that. What the fuck? That looks like some.
Damn, that shit looks cool, don't it?
Hell yeah, that looks like
here's like the type of
shit.
Here's like the type of shit. This is from, I actually know what this is, Gauls, because my dad was a cop, and Gauls is like a real famous, they supply a lot of police and military and shit like that. And
it looks cool.
They have some dragon scale armor I've heard about, and it seems to be pretty decent, but then again, I don't know if it lasts a long ass time. But see, this is normally how it is. This is probably a plate down in here, or a series of ceramic plates with Kevlar and probably other proprietary bricks over it, and then it probably has a pocket plate right here, and then side plates right here, and then side plates around the back. And then this one even has a neck thing. There are face plates. Those are dope. Let's see if I could find.
I like the thing. Covers the nutsack
and
everything.
Yeah, and do you see how much it costs though? Yeah, here's the plates that go inside.
No, I didn't see how much it costs.
Like, they're super expensive. Look at that.
Damn.
Yeah, and that's just for one piece. And then you got to get the legs, the arms, the face, the helmet, the boots, everything,
Right.
There was a famous bank robbery like 20 years ago, which like all the police use it as an example of like, what you have to fear as a police officer. Their own body armor, and they were deflecting bullets like crazy. I'll show you the video.
Really?
Yeah.
Dog. I bet you they're scared as fuck. They're like, oh shit.
Yeah, here it is. It's called like the North Hollywood shootout, and the cops didn't have adequate firearms. This is why a lot of cops pushed to get heavier and heavier firearms, because they actually ran into a situation where the criminals had better guns and equipment than they did, and they robbed a bank, and then they tried to make their getaway and killed, and the other one killed himself after he got shot.
Damn.
And it shows it right in the video. He puts it up underneath his armor thing and then just like sprays blood out of his helmet.
Wow.
I guess it's called North Hollywood shooting, but yeah, see, this was back in '97. The world was a lot more violent place at the time.
Back when I was born.
They made their own. Oh my God, this is like a reenactment of it. Oh, fuck you, you piece of shit. You know, how dare they put their video up there to be the first fucking choice when it's not even
Right.
facts. And so these two guys robbed a bank. They made their own body armor from head to toe. Sort of what I find interesting about this video is like, damn, you know, these guys were like brilliant. They should have tried to market their armor instead of robbing a bank, and right now they could lead the world in armor, you know?
Right, right.
But it was a famous case, and it was all completely televised. The police actually had to go into a gun shop that was near to where they were having this big shootout. A whole bunch of police officers got killed. This is one of the guys right here. They had AKs with big old full auto mags and everything, man. And it's really old shit video, but you can actually see bullets bounce off these guys a lot of times because they were firing handgun rounds at him. But he got hit underneath his armor or between at one point, and his partner got shot as well. And then as soon as he got injured, he just blew his head off. But it was pretty crazy. A bunch of cops got hurt and killed too, I think. Real famous case. Anyway, I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but
Well,
you know, yeah, it's pretty nuts. I wonder if I could just like fast forward to the part where that last guy gets taken out. It's something.
wow. Just to think, like what you said, if he would have just made a big business with his armor,
Yeah.
he would
Didn't have
going
the
to the bank doing something else.
Yep.
Man,
Yeah.
it's crazy how people think sometimes.
All right, so here's the last guy that's still alive. He has a full auto AK with big ass drum magazines. That is one hell of a shootout. I mean, cops don't get paid enough for that.
Hell no, that's crazy.
I mean,
They need SWAT to come out here or something, man.
yeah,
Fuck these cops.
yeah.
Can you
Pretty
move the mouse a little bit? I just need. I want to see how long this has been. How long this video has been going for. 8, 5, 6 minutes, like in a shootout. That's a long time.
That's a long time in a shootout.
Damn.
I mean, you'd be lucky to live past the first few seconds, right?
Right. What the fuck? I wonder how much ammo this dude had on him after those big, huge mags.
I know.
Imagine he's letting those go.
True. And imagine living in the houses. He's in a residential area.
Man.
Imagine living in a house right next to this shit.
What would you do, man? Would you shoot him just to help?
Yeah, I think I would probably try to help the police. Maybe. If they wanted it.
Right,
I don't know.
there, bro.
Yeah, it would have to be like a situation by situation thing. Like if they needed help, hell, I'd hand them my gun, you know?
Right.
Because they didn't have rifles strong enough to penetrate his armor. So they went into a gun shop and got like ARs and AKs and shit, and then came back out, and that's how they ended up stopping him, I heard. Damn. And ever since then, police have pushed for heavier and heavier weaponry, you know? And I'm all for them having heavier firepower than the I don't want our police to look like military, you know?
Yeah, right. That's true. Got fucking tons of gadgets and shit. Where do you look like they're in fucking Vietnam or something? Oh wait, Vietnam. Why did I say Vietnam? Like Iraq or something.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I think the guy that shot himself might not have been the last guy here. He might have been like the third or the first or something. I don't really remember, but I know I'm not going to find it in this long ass video. So.
Faggot.
Yeah, that's just pretty crazy. But they died for it, you know.
Right.
So they accomplished nothing. You know, what a waste.
Dumb bitch.
Dumb bitches.
And while they're eating a bag of dicks, it tricks their minds, you know. So.
Yeah.
There it goes to show you don't eat a bag of dicks on a Tuesday night after you just swallowed a bunch of cum.
That's true. And like I always say, make sure you finish the old bag of dicks before you open the new one. Bags of dicks don't grow on trees.
Damn right.
What, do dicks get stale? All right, then. Finish that back. What the fuck, man? I had mentioned this video before, and I wanted to show you. This dude is like I forget what you call him, an exhibition shooter. And so he can shoot and draw really fast and do all these trick shots. But I had mentioned to you before how I think he popped a balloon or split a playing card at 200 yards, which is insanity. That's 2 football fields with a snub-nosed revolver. And he does it right here at the beginning of the video, so it happens right away.
This is crazy. It's crazy. With a snub.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's like, for us, I couldn't hit that shot with a rifle and a scope, you know?
And you hear that motherfucker too as soon as it hits it.
I wouldn't even be able to see it with my bad eyes at 200 yards, like a playing card or, you know.
Right.
Fuck. But this dude.
He looked old too. His
yeah, he's an older guy.
100.
Look how fucking far away that shit is.
3 in a row. Again, that's what these are for. Strictly for close point blank shooting. Belly gun, yes. But how far or how close does that belly have to be to make this thing effective?
I mean, what?
It's like a long way to me.
Holy shit.
Damn. That's a gangster right there, man.
That is gangster as fuck. This guy don't even need a rifle. You know how in a movie, in an action movie, sometime like the bad guy will run away and then the good guy just takes his time and lines that shot up and then gets him. You know, yeah. That's this guy. Like he don't even need a rifle. You know, he'd be like,
Let me load this in for a second.
That's insanity, dude. I carry a short barrel, and like I went to the range. I think it was with you and your dad, and we were shooting at the no more than like 20 feet away, and I shot like the 6-1 or whatever this holds, and like I didn't even hit that fucking board, yo. I didn't even hit the fucking board, but I did it rapid fire. You know, I wasn't really trying to aim. I just wanted to see like if I just pulled and somebody was 20 feet away and I just opened up, would I hit them? I fucking missed every shot. You know, like. I need a lot more practice with that, but that's a little hand cannon, you know, so it's a beast.
Right, true. I want to take this shooting range soon here too.
Yeah, man, we should go. My full-size one, I can drive some nails with. I want you to fire that one.
Man, we should have a vlog of us shooting.
Well, now that we have this, we could film some of it and put it up here.
Oh yeah, true.
Hell yeah. But I have a couple more cool gun videos. Here's the same guy. His name is Bob Munden. Check out some of these trick shots he does.
Faster than a speeding bullet. You can fire a Colt 45 quicker than the eye can see. Only one man. Fastest gun in the West.
So I have to grab that gun, pull the trigger. A left hand to the cross, hits the hammer. Even though I'm doing all those
things, it goes sideways.
At the same time.
His gun's
see that?
Fucking sexy too.
Plated like gangster.
Woods is the golf.
What?
Monday is the quick draw.
Look how sexy that gold gun is. What the fuck?
That's crazy.
His draw has been clocked at less than.
What if we find out this is all fake and they just Photoshop this shit? What if in the future we just find out that this nigga was full of shit? And he just done it so good.
That'd be fucked up.
Fires at 2 balloons 8 feet apart. It looks like he hits them with a single shot. Watch again. In slow motion, we can see he actually fires 2 separate shots and scores 2 separate bullseyes.
It's like a magician trick. The difference is a magician is giving you the illusion that he's doing something that he's really not. We, on the other hand, are doing something that looks like an illusion, but in fact, we're honestly doing it.
Do you believe in magicians, Socrates?
Do I believe in magicians?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
The magic tricks and stuff like that.
I don't know what to think about magic. One of my favorite quotes in the world, you know, we had talked about UFOs and shit like that last time or whatever, but there's this dude named Arthur C. Clarke, and he said, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from divinity. So what he means by that is, if you see a technology that we don't have, you are going to mistake it as magic, which is probably why people believe in gods, right? They, like, some aliens came down and they had couldn't understand, you know, and so they view them as gods. And that's what I think that, well, it's proven if you look into a lot of how magicians, like, I don't know if you're talking about prestidigitation, like stage magicians, or if you're talking about real magic, like fireballs and shit, you know.
David Blaine type shit.
Proven that they use a lot of advanced technology, a lot of times clever devices and shit like that to pull their tricks off, you know. So
but the things that I see with David Blaine, I mean, it's just a little crazy, bro. Like, it don't even make sense. Like, it doesn't even seem with this. Like, for example, one time he was picking cards, right? And he said, this is not your card, whatever. And then he just randomly cut open a fruit and had his card there. Like, how can you explain that when this is another person's house? It's not even his house. Just a random fruit with his actual card in his hand and his signature, I believe he also had there. Like, how is that describable? Like, how do you describe that? How the fuck did you do that, David? How? I want some fucking answers.
I don't know. You know, I can't speak to that particular David Blaine thing or whatever.
Right.
But I do know that there is a $1 million reward for anyone that can prove they can do real magic, and it's by a dude named James Randi at the James Randi Foundation. And James Randi was, for a living, he was a magician. So the whole reason he has $1 million reward is to show that, you know, people are fooling people. Because there's this, like, I don't know if you've ever heard of the guru culture.
No.
In India, they have this thing called the guru culture, and they constantly have these new gurus come around, and they take money from everyone by showing them bullshit, basically, you know, like they make people believe that they can do magic and all this kind of thing, and so they basically are ripping people off. And so James Randi, you know, the whole reason he has that $1 million reward is to enlighten people a little bit. There are a bunch of charlatans out there who want to rip you off, who want to fucking take your money. And so
Dave Blaine's good at it then, man.
Well, maybe you should show us some of his tricks, you know, and then we could talk about it.
All right, cool. I'm gonna try to find that one. You know, you still got time?
Yeah.
All right, bet.
I've seen some things like he does a little trick where it looks like he levitates, but I know how to do that trick. I know exactly what, you know, so it's like, I don't know what level of trick you're talking about, but also realize that what you're watching is probably edited as well. You know, I mean, it's literally a lot of times these videos are made by the people. It's not some street camera guy catching him doing this, right? It's like at a show or on a TV show.
No, it's not.
That's edited.
Oh well, it's on a TV show, yeah. But it's like street magic. Like he goes to the streets.
Yeah, that's where I saw him do like that levitation one and other ones, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember, didn't he get in like a tub of ice for like days at a time?
I believe so, yeah. And he froze himself or something like that.
Yeah. But see, that's the other thing. Some of that shit is real. You know, I mean, it is real. Like, you know, Houdini almost gotten himself in some tight spots lots of times, and there was magicians that would do all sorts of crazy acts. I mean,
like even think about like the times that he's ripped up actual like money, and then you see the two pieces gone, and then he just spits it back, and then it's perfectly normal. I mean, even those tricks, like it's just what the fuck. I'm trying to find a short video here. They're all like long. Here, let's just see. All right.
That reminds me of another. Have you ever seen the epic magician fails? Like there's one where he like kills his assistant. There's another one where there's a few where they skewer their hands and do different crazy shit. This is brutal. So if anyone if anyone is squeamish, you might not want to watch this here.
9 years ago.
Come on. This has happened a lot of times. There's even a famous where I guess I'll have to look that one up all by itself. Where they skewer their hands. It's actually happened a lot of times.
Yo, I honestly just totally forgot what we were talking about.
You were going to show me a David Blaine. You were going to show me a David Blaine something or other.
Oh, magic. All right.
Yeah, here's one. Check this out.
All right, after that.
And this one.
Playlist.
All right, this one sucks because this guy does it like the magician is supposed to do it with their own hand, and this guy does it with the host of the show's hand. This lady, and that pisses me off even worse because if he wants to take that risk, that's fine. But how dare him put anyone else in that position? You know what I mean?
Right. You're not sharing the screen, brother.
Point. It will soon be through your hand. Now I will just use your face to find out which one has the nail.
Bro. Socrates.
Yeah, what's up?
You're not sharing the video, brother.
Oh, thanks for telling me.
No problem, G. You had some good accent, though. Good Russian accent.
Now I will use your hand. I hope you feel no pain, bitch, because soon it will be bad.
Soon it will be bad.
Oh, here, let me back it up. So first of all, check and see. It's a real thing. Yeah, it's really sharp. Puts it in a bag. You don't even know what bag it is. Do I have a stupid haircut? Yes, this is very dumb haircut.
This is very dumb haircut.
Crushed bag. Now there are only 3 bags left, and now I will use your hand, bitch.
Oh, shit.
And it was the first one. Yeah, you feel stupid, motherfucker? And how dare him?
Shit.
How dare
her hand?
How dare him to use her fucking hand?
What the fuck, bro?
You want to take that risk?
Be seeing it suing his ass.
Yeah, you want to take that risk? Use your own fucking hand, dog. You don't use somebody else's goddamn hand.
Oh, dude.
This trick goes bad all the time. Here's another version, but this time at least they use their own hand. I don't know why they want to do this kind of fucking trick, man.
This is the most dumbest trick ever. I hate it. Oh, I can't bear it.
Right through.
Oh, you just need to come up, like tip the top of it. Wow.
Fucked up, right? When I was a kid, I put a
knife.
Yeah, well, they have to because they look stupid as fuck. When I was a kid, I put a knife through my hand.
Damn, for real?
Yeah, for real. And like this video right here, this dude kills his wife, who is also his assistant. He cuts off her head with a chainsaw in there.
Dog, what?
Blood sprays out, and it's so fucking brutal, dog. You can't really see it, but you can see her struggle and then just fucking stop.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
You said that was his wife?
Yeah. Killed his girl, man. When I was a kid, I got this shit for Christmas one year, and it was like this. I don't know if anyone out there remembers this old ass bullshit. And it was like,
wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Would you call that murder, bro? Would you call that murder?
No, because it was, if anything, it would be manslaughter because it was accident. Just like if
you still get time for that.
You got into a car accident and killed somebody, it's not murder. It's an accident. Like his intention wasn't to kill her. You know, he wasn't attempting to kill her right there. So,
right. But do you still get time for manslaughter?
Oh yeah, yeah, you can get in big trouble. The dude where I'm from, you know, I grew up in a different world and in a way than today's world. And you could fight, and people fought and even got killed over the dumbest shit, shoes and all sorts of dumb shit. And where I'm from, there was this couple of gangs, and they've got into a little turf war, and the one dude shot and killed the other one, and he both these, you know, the one dude I grew up with, the dude that got killed, and he looked like Biggie Smalls, and he just bled out like right away. And when the dude went to trial, who shot him, he's a Southeast Asian dude in a Asian gang, and he got off on second-degree murder because he said as long as it's below the waist, he wasn't trying to kill him, right? They shot him right there in that artery, right on your leg, right in your inner thigh. And you know, you actually get less time for different shit like that. Like you can, sometimes they'll plea him down to a lesser crime, like it'll go from first-degree murder to second-degree. And that dude only got 7 years in jail.
Damn, dog.
Yep, killed the dude I grew up with, man.
The jail is weird, dog, when you really think about it, like how it adds up time and shit. I was watching this one documentary. This dude, 15 years old, he went to jail for assisted robbery, and he was actually with an older person. And to think about it, he was probably just following that older person. He wasn't really a part of the actual equipment. Like he wasn't old enough to get equipment, so it was brought by that older person. You know, it was just a kid doing a dumb shit, and he did like 10 years. He still had life. He has 3 sentences of life, and he's done like 10, 15 years already, and they're asking him to change the sentence because it's so bullshit. He was so young and everything, and this one girl was just like, no, I can't have you out here and this and that, and the judge is actually like going for it. Like, it's just crazy how you can just, I would hate to go in the jail system and get fucked. It's like this dude got fucked. I don't know where I was going with that, but I know that fuck going to the jail system like that.
Yeah, you don't even want to get started up in that motherfucking shit.
Right, because as soon as you go to jail, then you know you're bound to do something in there to protect yourself, and then that adds more fucking time, and then it's just fucking snowball.
Yeah, it seems like it goes on forever and ever. You better not think we get started, man.
Right.
You ain't hard if you go to jail. It ain't gangster to go to jail.
Hell no, you got caught.
Yeah, it ain't gangster to get caught. So no matter what you're doing, you don't want to go to jail. Don't mouth off the police. Don't put yourself in that situation, man. And once you got a record, then every single time in your life you get pulled over or whatever, they're going to look at that and then hold you against it. You know? Like if you had a drug offense, now they're going to think you have drugs on you. And if you do, now you're going to get fucked up again. So you got to be careful with that bullshit, man. This world is out to get you.
Especially as soon as you get something on that sheet, man. That's what they're going to base you off of because they don't know you. They're going to see what that report gives you. So that's just going to make me in a deeper hole if I get pulled over or something like that. Then I'm like, fuck, he's going to see that. He's going to be a little bit more aggressive and maybe just a more panicky. So that's more I got to worry about.
Yeah.
But I'm young as fuck, dog. So I can mess up, fuck up at any fucking moment. Yeah.
And especially when you're just getting your bearings in the world, trying to figure it out for yourself out on your own because you are young. And, you know, that's where a lot of people mess up right then. They don't know how to deal with the personal freedom of and having to manage their own time and their own money, right? And hold down their job and pay their bills. And, like, it's a big thing, man. And some people, they flip out. And because it's a very stressful time in a person's life, man.
That's true, bro.
Can't blame them. But yeah, man, back in the day, I had like this, it was like a little tub and it was like, had this like jelly shit in there and it was called Monster Guts, right? And it was for this like mad scientist kit, toys. It was toys, I was a little kid. And I had this like little like steak knife or whatever, you know, and the blade was like that. And I was like just fucking around. I held the tub by the bottom and I was like stabbing at the guts, you know?
Oh, shit.
And I wasn't thinking and I was just like, look it. And I was like, oh, and the knife was like, pointing out the back of my hand, and I'm like, oh shit, you know, it's like rising the skin up like this, sort of look like when that dude just did that. You know, your skin is actually really tough, you know. Later, I got that same hand caught in a router. You can see the big ass scar.
Did you do anything? Like, or was your adrenaline just rushing so much you felt nothing? Like it was just, you were just more. Like, how'd you?
No, it hurt.
Shit went through. Oh, it hurt.
It hurt.
As soon as it went through, it was like, oh fuck.
Yeah. I didn't even tell my parents. I just wrapped my shit up. I was afraid I was gonna get in trouble, you know. Yeah, I never even said nothing. So I put a knife through my hand. Yeah.
Damn. So you just took it right out.
Yep.
Pulled it out quick, because that could fuck you up too if you do it wrong.
Yeah, man. Like I could have cut tendons or little veins and shit in there. That could have been bad. I got lucky. I got lucky as fuck. I've had a nail go through my foot a couple of times too, and that's no better.
Oh yeah, I have had that too. Not through my foot, but like through my shoe. And I almost attempted to go through my foot, but damn, through the foot. Fuck that.
Maybe we should make like stories, like any guests, they have to tell stories about one time they fucked up and hurt themselves or whatever, you know? Through the hand. Another time I almost cut my fucking finger off. I had some G.I. Joes and I was like trying to make like a shitty one that I didn't ever play with. I was trying to make him like a rescue. I needed to rescue him or whatever. And I tried to cut off one of his arms so he would be like injured, you know? I don't know why I couldn't just imagine it, for God's sakes. I mean, I'm playing with fucking dolls. But I'm trying to cut off this G.I. Joe's fucking arm off with a pair of scissors, right? And it slipped and fucking cut into my other hand. And man, my shit was just hanging open, dog. And once again, I didn't tell my parents. Let's wrap that shit up. I'm surprised I didn't get more fucked up than I did, because I never, you know, I was never the one to like really bring it to the attention of the people that's watching me or whatever. Yeah.
So what do you want us to tell? Tell someone that we got hurt?
Yeah, tell a time when you fucked up, dog. You got hurt. You hurt yourself.
I got hurt. All right, man. So look, I was trying to shave my balls one day, bro.
No fucking way.
And I just shaved my, and accidentally, like, I cut myself. I was just like, oh shit. And I was young too, so I was just like, man.
Were you a straight razor?
Huh?
Were you using a straight razor?
No, but I was using like the buzzer. My dad's gonna kill me. I was using the buzzer, just the regular buzzer.
Yeah.
Without a
that shit'll bite.
Yeah, I fucked up.
Bit your sack.
Dog, I thought it was the end of the world. I was like, oh shit. I was thinking about balls coming out of my shit and stuff. Bro, I was freaking out. I even told my dad, I was like, so what happens now?
You told him that you cut yourself, but you didn't tell him how? Yeah, because he's using that shit, trimming up his fucking pimp stash and shit. He's doing his lip right here. He's like, meanwhile, still got your ball sack hair and skin right up on his face.
He doesn't know what he's talking about, Dad.
Yeah, right. You just said it with your own face. That's hilarious.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've had a lot of those stories, man. I could probably go on for quite a while, but I'm not gonna. Maybe I'll bust out one for every new person we have on the bust out one of theirs.
For real. Or here, how about this? We get 2,000 views, about 4,000. No, wait. Let's make a goal, and then we'll start some story. Let's talk this out, because they say if you don't got a high enough goal, then it's not a real goal. So let's say I need
50,000.
50,000 subscribers.
Subscribers,
yeah, man. If they no views, subscribers.
and then what?
More views, and then like let's say 75 views on a video. After that, we'll just go with a full secrets. We'll get some secrets out, man. Like embarrassing.
All right. Yeah.
Moments.
Sounds good to me.
So
it's gonna be a while.
It's gonna stay there.
Yeah, but we'll reveal like some juicy, intimate, funny, embarrassing.
Yeah, like shit.
Story.
Only our probably family, something like that.
Yeah. Just for the fuck of it. Like I don't really care. Like I've already released a whole bunch of good shit onto this motherfucker, but yeah, I'm willing to go higher. I'll think that shit out. Those things are always funny. I think one of the most entertaining things to talk about, really, the juicy shit. Most people, that's what people want, is the juicy shit. They don't want the regular.
Right. Oh, you know what'd be cool though? If we get the actual, with the memories, if some memories have multiple people to it, if we had them on too.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Maybe by then, talking those numbers.
True.
It'll be crazy. They ain't no telling what we gonna do. It's going down.
And like we said, we're always down for any suggestions as well as anything you want us to talk about, because you'd be surprised what we might have to say.
Oh yeah.
In certain areas, maybe a street opinion or some shit. But hell yeah, man! If you want to shut it down, we can.
We ain't shit yet. Oh yeah, sure, bro.
Cool. All right, man. Till next time, IdeaWars podcast number 28. Rican and Socrates.
Yeah.
We out. Peace.
Peace, man.